African immigrants settle in Canada. It is what it sounds like. They help newcomers from Africa settle anywhere in Canada and adapt to life here without hassles, providing individual and family support, driver's road test assistance, student support, computer skills training, and job search assistance. Free consultations are available all year round. Contact African Immigration Settlement in Canada. Visit aisic.ca. That's aisic.ca.
All right, so I'll just start us off with a brief introduction to the history of Isaac. Isaac was established on May 12th, 2009. We are committed to facilitating successful settlement of new African immigrants in Canada. The organization started with the interest of ensuring individuals and families are able to thrive and succeed upon coming to Canada. This is a response to the rising amounts of African immigrants coming to Canada in the recent years. We provide services ranging from accommodation assistance, employment opportunities, help getting a Canadian driver's license, financial guidance, community integration. Our mission is simple. We want to empower African immigrants so that they're able to thrive and settle their families in Canada from coast to coast. That's just a brief history of what Isaac does. I'll hand it off to Biswa to introduce our guest speaker for today.
All right, thank you so much, John, for that introduction. And welcome, everybody. If you can hear me, can I just get like a thumbs up, some reaction or some thoughts?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you so much. So we're here today to hear a wonderful talk by Mr. Adebayo, and I'll just go ahead with his bio before he starts. He's currently the Distribution Center Supervisor at Alberta Health Services, where he manages over 60 employees, picking, packing, and shipping supplies to different sites within Alberta. He has extensive experience in supply chain, warehousing, and transportation logistics. Within the last 12 years, he has worked prior to working at the current position with many organizations as a leader within Canada and Nigeria. And this includes Petland Canada, Westward Part, Cisco Canada, Imperial Dead, and DB Snickers, among others. His research activities include coaching newcomers in Canada on supply chain with a focus on warehouse operations and helping on reviewing resumes with support for interviews whenever it's needed. Is a frequent speaker at many youth leadership functions and serves as leaders with different alumni groups and other youth groups. He enjoys watching football and reading political news. He is happily married to Mudupe and blessed with 3 lovely kids. With a digital round of applause or reaction, can we welcome our guest speaker for today?
Thank you very much for the introduction. Without taking too much time, because and whenever I had this kind of discussion, I always try as much as possible to quickly, I share my experience. I kind of deepen into the warehousing and logistics in Canada, and I have shared my experience, how I was able to navigate and go into the supply chain, especially the warehousing and logistics part of supply chain. So it's a very fun experience for me, and I believe even without talking much about warehousing, my experience alone, it's enough, I'm sure, to motivate, people and see warehousing and logistics in a different way today. This is something that I've experimented, and I can tell you over the years, I have tons of people. I mean, I can't say the number of it, but I was able to, change some people orientation and ideology about warehousing and logistics. And today, by God grace, some of them are already in warehousing and they're doing very well for themselves. So quickly, let's look at what is warehousing. I know everybody here warehousing, especially for we immigrants. Everybody, when you call back home or people hear that you're working in the warehouse, the first thing that comes to your mind is it's a very physical, demanding job, and everybody look at it. Wow, those are immigrants' job, in warehousing, because absolutely warehousing doesn't sound like an office, right? It's like in an environment where you need to lift boxes, you need to drive equipment, you need to do this, and everybody kind of, as an immigrant, we migrated to this country, and for Africans especially, that are so passionate about educations and white blue collar jobs, we want to come here and work in the banks. want to come here and work in, big five audit firm, want to come here and I've seen even people that come here and go quickly start and become a nurse, right? Because everybody just believe there are certain industry that people have neglected just because of what people have told them or what they know about it without a deep knowledge about warehousing. And everybody just believe that when you work in warehouse, it's just a very terrible job or something. But I believe that today, after this seminar, I will be able to change some people orientation about warehousing, and they can see it in a different, way today. So, firstly, what is warehouse? What is logistics? What is even supply chain? So, supply chain is it's very broad. It's very broad. So in supply chain, we have different sectors or departments. So people work in purchasing, and you probably might have seen people, they say, "Oh, I am a buyer." So people that says they are buyer could be, mostly work in purchasing. So and they could be a purchasing coordinator. So they have different name they call them, but it's almost the same goal. They are buying a lot of supplies, products all over the world, sourcing different products for end user use. And at the end of the day, comes to the warehouse. So now, what is warehousing? What is logistics? We kind of use them together because they are essentially two sides of the same coin. But, warehousing actually deal with storage of goods, while logistics focuses on transportation of those goods. Again, so when you're talking about warehousing, you want to warehouse products, you want to warehouse items, you want to store items. Meanwhile, on the other side of it, it's logistics. Could be transportation logistics mostly. So, which is that movement, transportation of those items to the customers, to the dealers, to the end users. And when before you talk about moving those items from warehousing, you have to remember also that something has happened before those products get to the warehousing, which is transportation at the same time. So it's being transported to the warehousing, then warehousing receive and store it. Then again, logistics comes into play again by taking those products out to the end users. So what are the importance of warehousing to businesses? So number one, it improves inventory management. So you'll be able to track, your supplies. You'll be able to track them. You'll be able to know where you put them. Then you'll be able to, movement of those items in the warehousing to different end users or to different customers. Now let's look at it from this angle. So if you, for example, have like 30,000 products and you don't have a warehouse and you just put them all together somewhere sitting down, now, it's not a well-organized warehouse. It's not set up, and you just feel like, you know what, I don't want to do warehousing. I'll just put all this product and I'll be picking it from there to go sell. So now this is where it becomes a problem. When you want to pick item A from almost 30,000 items, how do you pick it to ship it to a customer to sell it? Now you have to waste your time looking for that item, but in a very well-organized warehouse, there's going to be a system that you can check that tell you this item A is in this so location. It takes you direct there, you pick the item. So you can see how important warehouse is. So now let me quickly go into transportation management. So roles of logistics. So logistics mostly is you are transporting those items to the warehouse and you are transporting them out to the end users. So it helps you with inventory management, order management, then customer service, because one, you eliminate the timing that you need to pick the items and ship it to the customer. So that will make your customer to have a good shopping experience when they are buying products from your warehouse or they are dealing with you to supply them. It could be to manufacturing, it could be to an end user, it could be to anybody, right? So what are the types of logistics? So what I'm doing is I'm quickly giving you an introduction into this feed. Then I will go back to my experience and share my experience and how I was able to reach this stage as an immigrant in Canada. So what are the types of logistics? We have different types. We have inbound, we have outbound, we have reverse logistics, We have tons of different types of logistics. We have 1PL, 2PL, we have 3PL, we even have 4PL, and we even have 5PL. Then we have global logistics. Let's look at them one by one. So when you're talking about inbound, inbound actually focuses on the movement of goods and materials into a company from suppliers to warehouse and production facility. So what does that mean? So it's an inbound transportation. So it's a movement of goods that you already have in the warehouse and materials into a company. And that could be for them to produce. It could be your clothes, the clothes you are wearing. It could be this laptop you are using to join into. So which are different parts that they use to make that laptop. So it's somewhere sitting down in the warehouse and it's being transported to them. So what about outbound? So outbound is deal with the flow of finished products from manufacturer to the end user. So that's an outbound. So when you have a manufacturing company and you finish the finished product, you want to assemble something, then you finish everything, then you outbound it to the end users. So what about the reverse logistics? So reverse logistics, you notice that whenever you buy a product from Amazon, from it could be from any company. So some people they give a contract to a reverse logistics company, and this is what this guy does. So when you have that product in your house, when they ship it to you, they put it, especially for companies that have a return policy, they put a label there and say, well, you can ship this back if you don't want it or if it's damaged or something. So some companies doesn't want to go through that route of processing all your return. So what they do is they will have a reverse logistics company, and this guy will take your return back. When they take your return back, they're going to manage it for the company, potentially to return it to the supplier. So fast logistics. So when you're talking about 3PL, so 3PL, it's let's say Mr. A is a supplier and Mr. C, I remove B now, A and C. Mr. A is a supplier. Mr. C is the customer that is buying from the supplier. So Mr. C will come and say, you know what, I don't have a warehouse to store your product, or I don't want to invest in warehousing, but I need to buy from different suppliers for my store. And Mr. C has 30 different stores across Canada. So Mr. B comes in. So what Mr. B is going to do is the third party in between these two guys, A and C. So what they do is Mr. B will come and say, yeah, I can solve your problem. I have a warehouse. And that warehouse, you can bring in your stuff from the supplier, and I will distribute it to wherever you want me to distribute it to. So now when you say 3PL, now it's three people now. Mr. A, the supplier, vendors. Mr. C, the customer. Then Mr. B in the middle is the third party, which connects A and C together to take the product from the supplier. Then the customer will now say, help me to distribute it to different stores. An example of that is when you go to Winners or Home Sense, right? So all those products you see in Winners, when you buy your shoes, when you buy your whatever you buy from Winners and Home Sense, the product comes, I have 15 stores. And this is what I want from your warehouse to send to different stores. So then they will do that. They charge Winners, which their mother company's name is called TJS. So those one we said, help us send it to all these stores, and they will charge them. Whatever they charge them, they have a contract. Then they take the money to pay their staffs and everything. So that is third party. So when you're talking about global logistics, this one deal with the movement of goods across international borders, which involve coordinating multiple logistics operations. This is where you see brokers coming in just to clear from the border, do this process. It's a global, it's a worldwide movement of product transportation medium. So without, like I said, I will just quickly rush on all these warehousing introduction and logistics introduction. Then we can now quickly go to how do we go into this industry? How do we navigate it in Canada? Then I'll share some tips on how to go into this field in Canada and what I've used, the model that I've used that have helped me to be able to get to a certain level warehousing in Canada. So there are certain things you need to take note. And when you want to go into supply chain, so like I mentioned earlier, supply chain is not just warehousing. There are brokers. There is a inventory management. Those one works on the other side of warehousing. There are buyers. There are What else do we have in supply chain? There are supply chain analysts. There are procurement. Where I currently work as a distribution center supervisor, I work and with procurement department. Funniest thing, I haven't seen anyone by face. I haven't seen anyone face to face like this. They all work from home. So now if I tell people that in supply chain, there's actually a remote job, people say, no, I want to go into IT. That is not possible. Yes, IT is good, but I will share a tip on why some people will see this in a different way today. So, and all before I even forget, let's look at it from this angle. During the COVID in 2020, some of my friends in America started learning web development. They become a C guru. 3-month training, 4-month training. This one go and become a business analyst. This one quickly become this. Everybody in IT. And my friend was calling me and said, I'm making 300,000 US dollar. I said, how? Oh, because I'm doing 34 jobs. It's work from home. So tempted, to be honest with you, I was tempted too. What is going on? Do I need to change my career? So one way or the other. But you remember during the COVID, a lot of things changes because different things change in the way we operate because people now work from home. You have to limit the number of people in the office. And so if you can do your job from home, sure. So, and these guys started collecting 4 gig, they will jobs and they will set up the system like this. They were coding. I said coding. Some people said if you can't code, you can even do cyber security, you can do this. Very great. They are all great, careers. So COVID started slowing down. Things started going back to normal. Then they changed most of their job to hybrid, that you have to come to office 2 days in a week and 3 days from home. Then it becomes difficult. They can't manage 2 hybrid jobs altogether. Then things begin to happen. People begin to lose their job because they can't do this, they can't do that. Then they look at business analysts. Why do I need to be a business analyst? Separate in a team where there's ERP, there's a project management. So a business analyst can do the project management job and do this. So so a lot of things changed. And now I call my friends in America, and someone told me a few days ago and said, you know what? I'm actually looking forward to change my career. And I don't think this IT is for me. These are guys that actually tempted me to come and join IT because they were making 400,000 USD, which I actually did. I went there to go learn because at a point I even told my wife, I said, I want to move to US. So Africans, we just want to be established, we want to be there because we have passion. And this passion keep pushing me because I want to do this too as well. I want to make money. I want to go into IT and this. So things change and some of them lost their job. So now I realize that when you're talking about job security, and this is the hint that I want to share with people today, when you talk about job security, when you talk about innovation, now there's AI and people are panicking that AI is going to take their job. AI is going to do this, AI is going to do that. Well, I'm not in an IT world, but I can see what is going on. But when you're talking about job security, can AI take a warehouse job? Will AI come to the warehouse to pick order? Will AI come and drive our truck to go deliver to Walmart and offload for Walmart and put it in different aisle? So you're looking about a very secured industry because it's a daily activities. And this is where it starts from. You have to wear clothes. You have to wear shoe. You have to eat. These are daily basic life needs. So now all this, it's supply chain. And I'll tell you where it starts from. There's raw materials that people need to produce. Now that raw materials has to be in a warehouse. It has to be in a warehouse. Now the manufacturing company take those raw materials to produce, to make, complete and finish the product and transport it to another warehouse. Then that warehouse has to distribute it to where all of us end user will go buy. So now, if you go to Walmart, if you go to any store in Canada, everything they sell start from within supply chain because they can't do without supply chain because they have to sell, they have to produce, they have to store. When you go to any store, sometimes you want to buy something, they tell you what size. Say you want to buy shoe, they don't have your size on display. They have to go check the back door, small warehouse they have to go check your shoe size. If they don't have it, they would not tell you and said, we can order for you and you pick it up few days, maybe 2 days later. Where is that shoe coming from? From a warehouse. So because it's somewhere stored there where they need to pick it and ship it to the store for you. So you see how important warehouse and logistics and supply chain is and to us. And that is what makes that industry a very unique one, right? And which make us to have a secured job in that industry. And if you look at, if I share my resume or you look at what I've done in Canada, you see how I've moved from one company to one company to one company to one company, which has really helped me to gather experience. Now, for people that have not done warehousing before, where do you start from? You can decide to take a warehouse job for 3, 4 months, physical job, to go learn the process and everything. When you learn that, because we are always educated, mostly as an Africans, because back home you have to go to school, you have to do this, you have to do that. So if you expose yourself to that physical demanding job in warehousing, 3 months, 4 months, it gives you an idea of what warehousing look like. Then you can decide to start up with your education, apply for coordinators, warehouse lead, supervisor, up to manager level. So for supervisors, for leadership in the warehousing settings, you actually need to know more of warehousing, but 70% of what it requires from you to be a leader in the warehouse are your leadership skills. How do you manage people? My current position, I don't even do operation. Maybe my operation that I do is 10 or 15%. 85% or 80% of my daily activities is managing people as a leader. As a matter of fact, you work in a unionized environment, which you can grieve, right? So it's more of your leadership skills, communication skills, every other skill that a leader needs to lead people, because you have to manage conflict within the warehouse. You have to performance manage people on what they are doing. If they're not doing well, what do you do? How do you encourage them? Do you hire to fire? So you have to know about HR work, because you have to hire people. Be an hiring manager as a supervisor to hire staff. And when you look, I'll come to the payment side of it, because I know most of the question that some people might want to ask is, well, nurses are getting $43 an hour or $50 an hour. So how much will I get in the warehouse? So I would show you where to get information about payment in supply chain. Does it pay nursing? Yes. Do we earn more money too? Yes. So it depends. It's company by company. And I've seen nurses that make $40. I've seen nurses that make $25 or $20 an hour. Then you say, well, they said nursing pay more than this. How come so it depends on how you can navigate and move to where that money is, and those companies that pay more, where you can get into those companies. Let me tell you about the system that we use in warehousing, so you know that it's not just a rocket science too, or something that people will say, oh, is it easy? Is it this? So we actually use, there's something they call warehouse management system. So warehouse management system, because when you go for interview, they say, well, what tools or warehouse management system do you use in your previous experience? So mostly we have Oracle developed tools that we use to manage my warehousing. And these are mostly developed by Oracle. So this Oracle has something that they call in shelf, on the shelf. So what will happen is, if you and I want to establish a warehouse in our operation, so we go to Oracle and say, this is what we intend to do. This is what we intend to do. So they will look at their shelf and say, well, this software will fit into what you want to do. You want to check your item location. You want to transfer it from this to, so this one is basic. It will help you. But let's say we now said, no, we want that system to be able to do this. Then it becomes a customized software. So now that's why they have to go more and more, which is more costly than the one you have on the shelf, right? So they will add more. So aside from Oracle, there's SAP. Aside from those two major ones, there are inbuilt system for a larger company where they have IT software guys, ERP, that will build something to fit into that company operations, and they wire them permanently to be managing that. And when there's improvement, the warehouse need to add something, they will look into that and develop it and add into that. That's an inbuilt. So are this system hard to learn? No, very easy to learn, because even with my experience in warehousing, they all look similar. But everywhere you get to, even if you have 20 years experience in warehouse in Canada, if you see another job today, they have to show you the software and teach you because operations are different. So what I do in my own warehouse, it might be different to what another person is doing in their own warehouse. That's why they use different software model. So now they have to teach you, even with your experience, they have to show you. But because you already have experience, it's easy for you because they always look similar. Or you just like maybe, for example, this one said press Control F to check the sales order. This one will say press Control O to check sales order. So now you are going to the same location, but you are pressing different key on your system functions to navigate into what you want to check. So they were similar. So you just be like, oh, my last job, we used to use Control O, but here we use Control F. Same thing, similar. It's just different key functions. So very easy to learn and very easy to, so, but what is very important is that your leadership skills. And I repeat that because to be a leader in warehouse, that is what you need mostly, your leadership skills. So these are the software. Let's quickly look the roles in supply chain. What position can you hold in supply chain? You can be a logistics specialist. You can be a supply chain coordinator. You can be a transportation analyst. You can be a distribution manager. You can be an operation manager. So distribution operations, on warehouse, we said we are looking for operations supervisor. You have to look into it because sometimes it's warehouse supervisor they are looking for. So, but you read the job description. So I remember when I joined AHS, when I was leaving my company that I work for, and I was going to AHS, I know people were asking me, are you a nurse? Are you a doctor? I said no. Because even I've been to hospitals and I've seen people that say, oh, you work in AHS too because they saw my ID. And yeah, I do. Oh, which hospital? Even some AHS employee doesn't even know I don't work in the hospital. I work in a warehouse where all those supplies they use in the hospital come from. Right. So also you can be a chief supply chain officer. There was a time that I was referred to a particular job, which is in military, to be a logistics officer in warehousing, right? So, and these are in every organization, right? You can be, if you are a warehouse associate, you can be a forklift operator, which pay more money too because you are driving equipment, MHE. You can be a truck driver. You can be a dispatcher, that is dispatching truck to go for most of transportation companies, they have a dispatch. So and that dispatch will be the one to say, this customer already booked a truckload of 3 trailers to move this product to their customer. So dispatch will dispatch a driver to go to that location and pick it and go deliver. So you can be a dispatcher. Now, how do we secure opportunities in warehousing? Number one, event networking. You network with people. Let's open our mouth, ask, talk to people. I'm interested in this. Oh, I'm happy that this is what you do. How do I? So go to event, network. Most of my jobs in Canada, 85 or let me say 80%, I got them through LinkedIn. 80% of my job in Canada, yes, I got them through LinkedIn. If I open my LinkedIn inbox, I have some child recruiters that have reached out to me. So how do they know I'm into warehousing? Why are they reaching out to me? So my LinkedIn profile is my resume is built. So if you see my resume today and you match it with my LinkedIn profile, it's same thing, word for word. So my profile alone is my resume. So they can see, and there are keywords that when they search, they will see me, I will come out. Because sometimes every day I get notification that my impression these days, 70 people, this HR from this company search and look up my profile. I got a lot of messages inbox. I said, well, I have this opportunity. Is this something you are interested? Maybe we can discuss. Sometimes I'll tell them, sorry for now. Because sometimes when they do, I check the company they want to hire for. I can go check and like, no, I can't do this. Right. So networking, your LinkedIn profile, referral, right? So when you talk to people, ask them for referral too. If you are going to that company, research that company. When I first started, I'll go to LinkedIn. If if I see job in company A on Indeed, before I apply, I'll take that company to LinkedIn. I'll go and look for people that work in that company. I will email like 50 people that are without even knowing them. I said, well, I saw you work in this company, you know, and I saw this position that I'm interested. This is my experience. This is my this. I will introduce myself. I don't know if you can help me with because what you are doing, and I'll tell you this, what you are doing is this. There's a job position, 100 people applied, and I put it to everybody here. 100 people applied, and you are the hiring manager. Can you check 100 resume or 200 resume? It's very difficult. So that's why people keep applying and applying. They didn't hear anything. Because if you are number 78 on the list of people that applied, your resume, that the probability that somebody hiring manager is going to reach 78 before he got tired and say, you know what, I got 5 people already, is very low. So, but Rivera will make your resume from number 78 to number 1 because now somebody has to look into it because somebody is referring you. So now people keep complaining, I have a very strong resume, a well-detailed resume, and I apply. I don't keep getting interview and this. Yeah, because people are out there looking for job. So that's why you need to have a strong network. You need to network with people. You need to, use people as you can to refer you for jobs so that your resume can go from 200 to number 1 for hiring manager to review. So those are different ways you can, secure and navigate to go into warehousing and get an opportunity. So let me quickly round up on this. So now, when you look at my experience, I've worked in different warehousing. When I started my career, I was earning, as I was a warehouse and inventory control manager. I was earning $17 an hour because I know this is the fun part everybody wants to hear. I was earning $17 an hour. And I'm like, is this job? I need some people already making $30 a nurse. Some people already making $40 this. I'm like, oh geez, just I need to do something. Maybe I need to go learn another career. Should I go for nursing? A lot of things keep bothering my mind as an immigrant because I came here for opportunities and I'm not going to wait or be stagnant. I need to move. So $17 an hour. Then I got another job, supervisor, $23 an hour. I said, well, this is looking up, I think there's opportunities here that I need to embrace. Maybe I need to learn this. I need to develop myself more and network more with people. And I keep moving. From there, I got a $40 job. And I'm like, oh yeah, I think this is my own nursing. I just need to develop myself more in it. And today I work with government. And now I'm on 6-figure that the same mighty people are saying they are working. So, and some people hear me say, how come is there a 6-figure job in warehousing? Yes, absolutely yes. 6-figure, yes, you can get it. Some people will even get 75, 80,000 a year annually. But the benefit, the bonus, because most warehouses always has high percentage of them used to have bonus, yearly bonus. They can tell you it's 15% of this one. So even when you are hearing 80,000, there's high chances that you can be on 6-figure with your bonus and everything. Right. So, and at the point now, when I select jobs that I want to apply to, because the first thing is I'm going to look at your job, your payment, your company, and I will research it. If you can't pay me anything 6-figure, I can't apply anymore. But I started with $17 an hour. And I've run everywhere. I've moved to this industry. I've moved to this industry to see if I can change my career because I want to quickly go up there too. Today, I'm telling you, yes, in this same job, there's 6-figure, like I'm talking about not 6-figure on dots. There are 6-figures that are even in the mid. That I've seen people that earn $160,000 annually as a warehouse manager. I've seen people that earn 200. So there are big opportunities there for people to embrace too. And the job security is there because there's always opportunity in warehousing and you can move from one place to another. So, and that is how I was able to navigate and move from this place to this place to this place to this place until when I get to this level and I'm like, okay, yes, I think I'm not looking for any IT job anymore. I don't want to be a business analyst anymore. Rather, I'll go learn more tools like Excel, spreadsheet, how to do this in Microsoft, get more because it's wide. I use it. I want to know more about it so that I can, get to a certain level in this field. I want to become a director. Then if I want to become a director, maybe I need to be well-sounded in Excel, in spreadsheet, in Microsoft Office tools, so that yes, I can do this, because that's my next target, right? So there are opportunities. So hopefully with what I've shared today, maybe you'll be able to look into and say, well, let me even look into this warehousing and see what I can bring out from it. So thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, sir. Can we all just give him a digital round of applause? If you can, please. He has shared so much with us today. Thank you, sir. So we do have one question. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to send to me or just post directly to the group. The first question I have is, does the role of transportation analyst require that I have experience in warehousing?
A role, what transportation analyst?
Yes, sir. So I'll repeat the question. Does the role
Okay.
of transportation analyst require that I have experience in warehousing?
Not really. So, and I will explain. So, as a transportation analyst, you are more into transportations company. You are managing trucking, you are analyzing their businesses and look at the customers that requires your services as a transportation company to take their product from one place to another. So, as a matter of fact, when you go into that role, that is when you begin to understand what warehousing is, even though you don't work there, because
Right.
as a transportation analyst, it's an office job because you are dealing with more of businesses in transportation. You're analyzing their businesses, you're analyzing their operations. So you don't deal with warehouse. You are majorly dealing with businesses, transportation businesses and services. So you don't require a warehouse experience, but it's a good opportunity for you to know a little bit of warehousing because it will help you because they work hands to hand, they work side by side. So that will help you to go into more opportunities in warehousing too. But you got to remember too that when you get promoted to a transportation manager or a logistics manager, so now that is if you want to move upward, you have to have that warehouse knowledge because the warehousing will be calling you day by day and say, we need this, we need that, we are waiting for this. So one way or the other, you need to understand what they are doing in the warehousing at a certain level.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for that. We have two more questions. What are the challenges you face daily as a logistic manager?
Like I said, I'm more of into administration now. The challenges I face are huge because what people will take associates will just look to their face and say, screw you, this and that. But just on Friday, there was a restructuring, and some people are not happy with changes. And somebody engaged me, one of my staff started talking to me about it, and we are talking. And what he wants is not what I was telling him because he wants something. I said, why did you guys change this? Why did you say? And I said, well, we need to look at the improvement side of it and this and all of a sudden, Jay, can you just shut the fuck? And this is somebody that reports to me, right? But as a supervisor, as a leader, I take that because I can see his frustration about the changes. So what I just do is I just said, thank you for letting me know. So what do I need to do? Go back to my office, write an email to HR and said, I need an investigation into this. I want this to be dealt with. Not because I want to punish him, but just because we need to curb him from doing this in the future, right? So that he doesn't do that because he's rude and his subordination. That his supervisor is talking to you, listen. So a lot of things we face, even as a black person, I've seen people that said, how can this one be telling me what to do? Right? And I'm like, I need to. If your ego, your hatred for black or anything stops outside this building, then when we come to this building, I tell you what to do as your supervisor. Right? So these are the challenges. Conflict management. You manage conflict. Some people are not happy with the decision. Right? So you're doing a lawyer's job, you're doing a judge job, you investigate, you judge, you make a decision. So it's challenging. So these are the little challenges we will face. But that's why I said for you to grow, even when you know basic and warehouse in operation, you need to be able to have a strong leadership skills because when you get up there, then you have to be able to face all these challenges and resolve them. You're patient because people will people will test your patience, especially as a black person in Canada and you are in that big role, people will test your patience and say, what are you talking about? Sometimes I've seen people that come to me and tell me things that I'm like, why will you tell me this? But I manage it. And there was a time I told one of my employees, I said, people like you is why I have a job. Because if everybody know what to do and everybody can work without issue, maybe there won't be a need for leader.
Right.
Right? So there are challenges, yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing. So someone said, what lifting? Is it okay to go into it, and what does it take?
Yes. So when you go to warehousing, there are people that we call pickers, there are people we call receiver. So forklift license helps you to get way more than somebody that doesn't have the skills to drive an equipment. So for example, in a warehouse settings where they only have like 3 or 4 equipment to drive, and only 4 people are driving those equipment. So if I'm paying $22 or $23 an hour to an associate, I'll be probably paying 25 or to 27 to forklift license driver, because they will drive equipment. So it requires another skills to drive that equipment. So yes, forklift training is a very good stuff to have. As I am now, I drive almost all the equipment up to swing reach. So I drive almost every equipment. I learn them. But because of my role, I don't think I can drive anything again because I don't drive them anymore. Right. So it's a very good experience to have too if you can. Yes, it's worth it. And it makes you to see job easily, because what they are looking for now is somebody that can drive those equipment.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. So there's one other question, but I'll come back to that. Another question is, can you gain experience with the Oracle software by working in a warehouse, or are there other places where you can learn it?
Well, mostly I would say in the warehouse. And why I said it's in warehouse is because how do you know what to go learn outside? You have to be in an environment where they are using it so that you can see. And like I said, the software that they're using in the warehousing, it's not, it can be similar, but everybody personalize it to their own operation. So which one do you want to go and learn unless you're in that environment and learn something there? But like I said, it's not something to even be worried about. I don't know any software when I enter into warehousing. I learn everything there. So so even when you're talking about the software, what software are you even talking about? It's just for you to be able to say, you know what, we want to pick iPhone 16, customer order it. You have a very big warehouse. Is that system that you go into and you type the item number into it? There's a place that will say put item number, press enter. Then it tells you where the iPhone 16, because you have almost 30,000 products in a very big warehouse. How do you know in your head what rack iPhone 16 is sitting down? Are you going to be walking aisle by aisle to go look for iPhone 16? So these are just functions that will tell you put the item number. Then it will tell you, and then you go to I16B, they have well labeled iPhone 16 instead of walking all through all the warehouse. RF gun, you can scan a barcode. It will show you the information, how many you have in the stock, in the warehouse, what's your stock number, what's location, where did this come in. So RF gun they use to scan when you go to store. That one also can be. So it's not something that anybody should be worried about to learn, to be honest. So don't go outside and spend money to learn warehouse software because you don't know what your company is going to be using.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. So I'll go to the last question we have, but then I think I will just loop it to someone is saying, how can you assist me in obtaining a job? I studied occupational health and safety. So I think the question, would there be some guidelines or tips you can give this person or other people on the call on how to go about getting a job? Perhaps in your role right now that they can apply to their profession.
For the job? Yes. So I've trained, I have a board in my house that I expose people to warehousing. When in Calgary, yeah, I have people from Nigeria that will just come to Canada and they reach out to me. They'll come to my house. I'll take 2-3 weeks to run warehouse with them. We'll look into it. Then I'll say some doesn't even know terms of what they use in the warehouse. I'll train them, I'll show them everything. Then we'll look at what they have done in the past and we use it to build a resume, because absolutely what they said they have done, there's warehousing in that organization too. It's just that they don't know that this is at the back end. So we look at it, then they say, oh, this is what you are doing. I don't know. So then I expose them to it, then we build your resume and I guide them on the interviews. Warehousing interviews are always almost the same. It's just that they come in different formats. But what A will ask you, be expecting B to ask you too, right? So, and I train people on this warehousing. I help them, I guide them on the resume. We use it and they apply for jobs. When they have interview, they come to me. Sometimes when I want to do interview for myself, I invite them and say, come and listen to what I want to say so you know how to prepare yourself. So these are the ways that I guide people. and few of them have gotten job and they are doing very well in warehousing. And I'll tell you one joke. So when you go to warehouse, you see doors outside. It's called dock. They will say go to dock 7 or dock 8. And I forgot to tell him that place, that thing is called dock. And
Okay.
he went for an interview and said, well, those doors, I know the doors outside. And no. So they mentioned dock. He can't understand what dock is because he has to, I just trained him on that on warehousing. And he came back and said, well, I think they asked me dock. What is dock? I started laughing. I said, I forgot to tell you those doors are called dock, right? And it takes you also to go research more, even because it requires your time, especially when you are just going to it. And this is what I do. And when you look at, I've seen somebody that said after training him and he said, oh, I saw one job. I don't think I can do the job. I said, why? He said, when you look at the descriptions, everything they just mentioned there, you didn't show me anything about this. And I said, send the job description to me. When I looked the job description, I started smiling because we actually go through everything. But what is happening is those terms are very big for him that he doesn't know that this is what it means and this is what it means. So I break it down for him and say, oh, this is what they are talking about. And now he got a job. Last week, somebody in Manitoba reached out to me. He finished business analyst in U of M. And now was looking for a job. Currently is working as a caregiver. And he said, I'm tired of this. I need a career. I need this. I said, well, let's go into procurement. Do you know how to use spreadsheet? He said, yes. You are very good in he said, yes. I said, well, don't come to warehousing. Let's do procurement. I started showing him procurement. I started training him. And last week, 7 days ago, I saw a job, procurement with government of Manitoba. And I shared that job with him. So when I shared that job with him, he looked at it, he called me, said, sir, Cheryl, you think I can do this thing? I said, yes, you can do it with what I've shown you. It's more of negotiation skills. So when I did that, we look at everything, we look at the resume. I said, good to go, apply. So he called me 3-4 days ago and said they invited him for assessment already.
Wow.
So and I said, well, good to go. So he said, if I get this job, I will never forget you in my life. I said, no, let's just thank God. Let's keep going. So I introduced somebody in Manitoba that's into that procurement. And they went for that assessment. They trained him, they showed him. Then he called me back. He said, I think I'm now understanding this more and more. Yes, it takes effort. You get it. They are very easy to navigate to. So that's how to get a job in the supply chain.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. So with the interest of time, I wanted to ask, would it be okay for people to reach out to you? If yes,
absolutely,
how best can they reach out to you?
So I work Monday to Friday. If you reach out to me, if I don't reply, which I always do, and say, please, can we talk on weekends? Yes, because I'm always free on weekend. I only work Monday to Friday. So if you reach out to me during the week, if I will reply and say, especially if you say you are from this platform, I will reply and say, please, weekend, or if I'm free during the week, I will reach out. But weekend is always good for me to do stuff like this.
Good, thank you. And how best is it via email or phone number? What would be the best contact information?
Most time, reach out to me on my phone number, especially on WhatsApp, because I can have your message to go back to it so that I don't miss it. So it's good to reach out to me on my WhatsApp.
And would you be able to share that with us, or maybe through the CEO?
Yes, I can. I'll put it in the message.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. Once again, I will encourage everybody to please give our guest speaker a digital round of applause. He has really shared so much with us today. Thank you so much. On behalf of iSafe, we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunities, and I appreciate the CEO. I appreciate all the staff members of Isaac. It's a great opportunity for me to share my experience and see how people can come into supply chain. And I appreciate it. And with every way, we keep supporting the Isaac every time. Thanks to the entire staff for the opportunity.
Thank you, our guest speaker, and also our moderator for today. I appreciate the two of you, and God bless you.